Is it a voice recording or
Video.
okay?
I can't start until you gets back, but you know.
Maybe if you get immersed enough, she'll hear you. Oh damn! See,
Maybe push to talk, Yuki.
I was smart with the chips decision. Okay. No razzle tassle.
Yeah,
Just
dig inside the can instead.
No, I'll fucking pour them out on my desk.
That's fucking disgusting.
I cleaned it off.
Yeah, but what?
Alright. I'm right, yes.
Grab them.
Right, guys.
I'm
Yeah.
palm
long
fisted.
enough.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Might as well be.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Hey, I can see everyone.
I can see everyone.
It's good.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
I'm updating again.
I mean, what fuck?
No, it's not important for you.
There we go. It's all good.
Jävla
It's all good.
snopp. Penis.
I'll wait
I'm not-
until everyone's ready.
I'm ready. Scully, if I can't see Scully, that's it. I can see everyone. Good job. Yes, I'm ready.
To be honest, I'm glad we left it later tonight. No, Dag.
Yeah.
Playing in the
Well-
Witcher now. What the fuck?
Oh.
You just see, didn't you? What's happening with Discord suddenly?
Everyone back?
Yes, but now I can't see you. Yeah, why is Karma's laugh not lagging?
You're in one now. It's all-
Alright, guys.
Yes. Yeah. Hi.
Oh my
sake.
god! Why
What
is
is happening?
this so funny?
No.
Wait.
Why is
I can see Freya on Discord. suddenly.
only Freya? Yeah.
Hey, Thamman.
Salmon.
Hey, famine. We
Hi.
fuck off, famine. We're trying to
Yeah,
play
but stop
Guys.
fucking calling me then.
But
Stop
you're in
calling
this
him,
group.
yeah.
We're in this group, so.
Christ.
It's fine. I'll get rid. It's okay. Yeah.
Remove it from it.
And once again, I can't see Karma. It was working so great. What happened,
Hey.
Karma?
What
I don't know. I don't know.
happened?
I don't know.
Now I can't see Karma.
There
or
we go. I
Freya.
can see Karma.
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
No, I can't.
start.
Let's just fucking go. Like,
Well, I can't see
Let's
Karma.
just.
I wanna
It's
see Karma.
fine, guys. Don't worry about it. Everything will load in time. All right. Don't worry
I
about
got
it.
it. I got it. I got it.
Now I can't see Duckies or Karma or Freya.
No, that's because I reconnected because everyone else is getting it. Don't worry about it. If I can see Hinami and Duckies now, I can see them later. Don't worry about it.
I'm in.
I can see
character
everyone.
now.
I can see everyone.
I can't see Duckies or Freya. I'm not gonna reconnect. So let's go.
Yeah, I'm good.
I can see everyone.
I can see
I can see
Freya.
everyone.
I can see
I'm
Freya.
good,
I can see Freya.
I can't see
I'm good.
Duckies. So. too bad.
Let's use this call
Yes.
just in case Discord servers fuck up.
Yes.
Okay, wait. Wait, let me reload one more time because
No.
No, don't.
Don't.
I can't even see
I-
Duckies. So like. for
Please.
But
real.
it always okay. Wait, I'm reconnecting.
No. There we go.
I can see.
I can see everyone.
I can't
Yes.
see. Okay, I can't see Yuki or Scully, but it's fine.
Okay, I'm updating too.
Stop reconnecting.
No, stop it. It's a delicate
Stop!
between
Stop!
this.
Don't touch the
Stop!
reconnect button now.
Stop! Don't touch
Yeah.
anything.
It's gonna
Don't-
break.
Okay. Fuck.
This has been fun enough, honestly.
I can see everyone. Let's fucking go.
Mhm.
I can't see Scully now.
Can't see Scully.
Wait, let me reconnect.
Hey,
It's
one more
okay,
time.
guys.
No, stop
It's
reconnecting.
okay, guys. Guys, he'll come back. It's all right.
It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's
Right. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. Let's finally.
Started.
Ah!
Come on.
Oh my god. Okay, we're all here.
Yes.
Okay.
It's only half.
There we go. My
10. Stop.
There you go.
Our adventure
Wait,
begins.
why are you rolling? Why are we rolling?
Whichever. Let's just start. Let's calm and talk.
I think Scully's asleep.
Our adventure begins in the township of Dagger. A few miles trek south of Water along the Sword Coast. A week ago, you were stopped in your tracks going about your day-to-day business by a courier, dressed head to toe in red velvet, bearing the seal of Baron Morven, Lord of Daggerford, straddling the shining river. The courier hands you an ornately wrapped piece of parchment, takes a bow, passes. You know of Baron Morven. Perhaps you have performed heroic deeds around his lands. Perhaps you have repute in other regions of Faerun as a brave soul or community. Or perhaps you have simply fostered a reputation of the type of person who gets the job done. You break the crimson wax seal and roll open the delicate parchment to reveal a letter, written by Quill, hastily scribbled, as if transcribed by the hand frail and petrified. Greetings, noble hero. I have written you this correspondence in a time of dire need. That is a matter of growing urgency, which threatens my township. Its implications grow darker and more obtuse with each passing day. I've lowered it even more. I have come to know of you and trust you, hearing of your selfless deeds and lending of aid both towards my people and my fellow nobles' people in the north. I have written these letters to a group of you in the belief that they will arrive safely wherever you may be. I cordially invite you to dine at my abode, Castle Daggerford, on the evening of the 28th of Nighthall, so that I may formally make your acquaintance and we can discuss this dreadful matter further. I have every faith that you will attend. Regards, Baron Morven, Lord of Daggerford. You read the letter in its entirety. A distinct feeling of unease and dread accompanying every syllable. You resolve to make the journey towards Daggerford to dine with the Baron, compelled to discover what has happened in Daggerford to cause the Baron such a nervous disposition.
Ooh.
You arrive in the township of Daggerford around about 5 o'clock in the evening. Dusk is travelling alone. However, Kale, Vivi, Namin, Borg, and Dawn all know each other. You have spent some time working various jobs along the Sword Coast, adventuring for profit and performing minor deeds that may get you some level of local renown. The sun is just setting. Daggerford is a small settlement. It's not particularly busy. There are a few people going about their work, finishing their work days. There are horses going up and down the street. But the sort of main thing that immediately catches the eye as you enter Daggerford through the north entrance is the great towering hill upon which Castle Daggerford stands looming over the township. I'll leave it to you guys. Dusk, you have arrived before the rest of the party. You are currently in the town square doing whatever it is that you may do, waiting for the evening and the setting of the sun where you may head to the castle and dine with Baron Morven. The rest of you have just come through the North Toll Gate into the city square itself. Do you have any plans for the day? Because you've got maybe an hour or two of sunlight
I'm
just before
thirsty for
darkness
some
falls.
ale.
Okay.
I want some meat.
I just want to walk around and see the area, see the city.
Why don't we try to find the town square and then see if we can find an inn to
The
get
town
some
square sort
meat?
of there's a bridge from the main entrance, there's like a bridge going over a large sort of river mouth, and just right in front of you is the town square, and it's the town crier sort of rings a bell, shouting sort of the news of the evening, and you see people sort of spreading out from the city square, going into various side streets, and there are sort of businesses surrounding the city square at all sides.
Yeah, I would like to get something to drink, something to eat.
Go to the local inn then.
Sounds like a plan.
What about you, Borg?
Borg always wants ale.
Okay, Freya, Dusk arrived about an hour earlier. Do you have any idea what she's doing? She only had a few hours before evening struck.
Dusk is like she's walking around looking for like the temple, spending time at the temple, just trying to see if there's anything of like importance of like religion and like history, just like trying to look at these cities and like
Daggerford is sort of known as being sort of the biggest church in between the major cities of the Sword Coast.
Yeah.
There is a chapel in the middle of the town that caters to all faiths, and all good and neutral and widely worshipped gods of the Ferunian pantheon, including Kelemvor and Lathander and Torm and all the rest, the standard gods in this region. So you may spend a few hours there preparing things, burning incense if you like, reading prayers, stuff like that. And the rest of you spy an inn just to the left of the city square called the Goose and King. Its sign sort of is a large, like, sort of black board hanging upon a metal pole, and it depicts a sort of man dressed as a king strangling a goose.
Boys, so let's go in. Let's see what we can find.
Yes.
Let's do.
I know what I can't find.
What do you need?
My character sheet.
Really?
Yeah, it says journal at the top.
Hang on a second. It's okay. There you go.
Thank you.
It's level 1 just as you left it.
Love you.
Give me a second.
Today's been long as fuck. I need something. Just one drink, please.
It's been a very long day traveling, yes?
Yes.
You head into the Goose and King. The tavern is actually quite empty for the time of evening that it would be. Like, just as the sun is setting, you'd expect a tavern full of patrons just coming from work. The tavern's quite empty, and you see sort of at the back, sort of a very large, well-built, some might say obese barkeep, just rubbing glasses. And he sort of looks up at you.
I walk up to the bar.
Excuse me, miss. You know we close in 5 minutes, right?
I don't care. What do you need? We have the coin. We've been traveling all day. If you need something from us, we'll give it to you. Just please serve us. We need it.
I'm not going to turn down coin. What do you want? Yeah.
My dwarf friend here is the wallet. We would like a few beers and some meat for my friend here with a beard.
Hang on a second.
We don't have a dwarf.
We don't have a dwarf, and I don't think we have someone with a
Konami
beard.
is a dwarf.
No, it's a gnome.
Oh,
That's
he's a
racist.
gnome.
That's
racist.
Say no. Okay, cool.
Alright, okay, I'm the racist. The
okay,
short one.
sorry,
With
Sorry,
like,
I needed to get my notepad out. What was that order again?
please help me, boys. I'm stupid. Please.
What kind of bar closes this early in the afternoon?
Well, yes, you see, normally we wouldn't, but it's recent orders from Baron Morven. You see, he doesn't want any travel going on past the hours of 6 o'clock till 6 in the morning. I'm not quite sure why. I've heard rumors of disturbing disappearances along the city walls.
What do you mean disturbances?
Well, you know the rumors that you hear about when certain certain men are a little bit too deep in their cups. I don't really pay that much attention to it. But yeah, it's rumors going around people traveling through Daggerford, leaving at night and never being seen again.
That's super tragic. Can we get some beers?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Haggerford ales coming right up.
Yes,
and he sort
please.
of
Thank you, honey.
he sort of leaves and ducks to the back of the bar and begins pouring the beer.
Rumors,
Back
eh?
table, something like that.
Rumors, eh? That sounds interesting, doesn't it?
You
What
guys
do you
can
think
talk
he
amongst yourselves
means?
as much as you want. Go on.
I was talking. Like,
People disappearing? What do you think he means? Like kidnappings or?
well, it could be kidnappings. It could also be a greater force of power that we could capture and take for our own.
Or gold.
A goal, yes.
Or
maybe
ale.
weed. Maybe
We're
get a
getting
read
the ale.
on the Cyric followers.
As you discuss events, the barkeep hastily brings a round of ales. There you go. There's your ales. You already slammed your gold on the counter, and he rushes back to the bar.
Sorry to interrupt. Can people please just change their names to the name they have in game?
Yeah.
How do we do that so I
Yes.
can remember? Because I remember Hinami's, but I don't remember anyone else.
Cogwheel at the top.
Okay.
Cog
Right.
wheel at the top right, and then my settings right at the top. You know we've been reconnecting. It's at the top of that page.
I just left click. I mean, right.
Play name.
There we go.
By the way, you're
Right, there we go.
really lagging for me, Hinami.
Oh, it's
Same.
fine. It'll fix itself. It's fine.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
hard to hear what it's saying sometimes. That's all.
Any more conversation going on at the table?
We're just discussing what we
Okay.
think he means.
Yeah, you got to remember as well. You've all received these letters individually from Baron Morven.
Right.
Like you didn't get one as a group. You got each one individually. So Baron Morven seems to trust each and every one of you with something, some mysterious thing going on.
So, does any of you actually know the Baron? Because I don't personally know him very well.
I've only heard tales.
I don't know. I mean, he sent us all this. He sent me this letter. He seems scared. Poor thing. What do you guys think?
Well, I got a letter too. Why do they turn Irish?
I got a letter too. Alright.
I got a letter too. Sorry.
This is actually like, it's hard to hear.
So the guy wants
That
us
might
to
hard
come
to
to
hear.
dinner, right?
Yeah,
Any for anybody else?
No, I can hear you perfectly.
I can't really.
I can hear Hanami just fine. As this conversation goes around, the barkeep sort of nervously comes over and sort of rests on the table. I'm really sorry, guys. I've got to kick you out. It's orders from the Baron, you see. Sun's setting.
Can we finish our drinks?
Yeah, of course. Just finish up and leave, please.
What? All right. Okay.
That's fine. Let us.
That
finish
is
and then-
okay.
Ilwick brought props. Wow, look at that.
Let us finish and then head off the rest somewhere
Right.
else.
I slam my
Can
glass on
Borg
the
get-
table and I start walking.
Can Borg get an ale to go?
Aye, yeah, sure, yeah. And he sort of grabs like sort of a leather container, not like a proper nice glass, but like a leather container that you think is probably used for this sort of purpose. Like he's had one too many drunks harass him for beer for the road, so he just pours a bottle of me into a leather container and just like hands it you, free of charge. You understand? It's the least I
He
can do.
really
We don't
wants us to leave.
we don't really get that many travelers in around Daggerford these days.
Hey, barkeep,
What
can
a
I
nice
ask you a
guy.
question?
Yes, of course, yeah. Go for it. Just be quick.
So is this like personal or what is it? Like, did we do something?
Absolutely not. No. Just go out and you'll see every business closes when the sun sets. Now,
Fine. Right. Okay. Sorry.
Maybe it's time for us to go up to the
Dusk,
to the
you
barons.
have also been privy to a similar sort of thing. Most of the time around the Sword Coast, chapels are open all hours, no matter what. There is always someone staffing the chapel. However, at 6 on the dot, as the sun sets, a sort of short, chubby, balding priest has just come out of the crypt and sees you still worshipping and like saying your prayers and burning incense at the altar. Excuse me, miss. I'm really sorry. This is most bizarre, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Yes. That is like fine.
That's not you.
That's not
No, I'm talking to Dusk. This is a
Oh,
priest.
good. Okay.
Can everyone else not hear Freya?
No,
No.
she's muted.
Oh yeah, that's why.
Right. Okay.
Fuck.
Go
Can you explain? Temples are normally open all day around.
Yes, of course. It's orders from the Baron. You see, all businesses close at 6 o'clock when the sun sets.
Oh, understandable.
There's nothing much the clergy can do about it. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, sure, I understand. I'll take my leave.
Thank you very much. And he leaves with you. And as he leaves, he also locks the great chapel double doors behind him. And then you spy him hastily, like at a jog, going into the township, presumably home. The rest of you, as you leave the inn, you notice where once there was like some activity in the town square, in the 5 minutes that you've been in the tavern, it's gone from people around, town crier there, people going to their homes, to silent.
This is really fucking creepy, you guys.
The sun has set and there is silence.
There is something going on here.
This is
So, and-
very weird.
Did you guys get letters from this Baron guy? I got a letter.
I got a letter too.
Did he talk about the dinner? There's some kind of dinner, right?
Yeah, I've
Yes.
been invited to a dinner.
Me too.
Like, as I'm standing outside the chapel, I sort of overhear this conversation.
It's the chapel and the city square are quite a ways away.
Oh, okay.
Probably as night descends,
Mm-hmm.
you'd probably feel it best to head towards the castle, because remember,
Yeah.
you've got the same letter as everyone else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this guy wants us to go to the... Should we just, like, go for it? Just
It
see
is
what
dinner
happens?
time soon, so I
Free
think
food, right?
I think we should go and at least have a little chat and get some free
How
dinner.
creepy can he be? Like, how scary
But
can he
it's
be?
free dinner. Who cares?
Right.
I
Free
haven't
food.
had dinner for like at least 14 minutes, so let's go.
How do you feel, Bori? Should we go for it?
If he's as tiny as Namin, he is scary.
Well, I have my bow, and you guys have yours, so... Your
You
stuff.
have my
Let's
axe.
No, but your stuff. You have weapons. You have weapons.
And
It's a
my
friendly dinner. Don't you worry. What about you, Vivian Dawn? Would you join us in our dinner?
Yes, I do not feel safe in this town. Feels strange.
Let's just see.
Yeah,
Let's just
where
see.
are you
Maybe
gonna
ask-
have your dinner?
This castle, you know, from the letter. Didn't you get a letter?
She did
No,
get a letter.
I didn't
yes.
get a letter.
She did get a letter, yes. But maybe she's being secretive.
Maybe I've forgotten about my letter. I don't check my mail that often.
A guy in full red walked up to you and handed it to you. Like, you definitely at least saw it. Anyway, yeah, you have all got the letter. It all says,
Anyway,
dine
guys and girls.
in the evening.
we didn't have anything better to do. Let's go to this creepy guy's fucking castle and get the free food and see what he wants, right?
You
Yeah,
can always just
I agree.
get the free food and leave.
Yes, exactly.
Of course, it's dark and people are disappearing. Oh, rumors. People are disappearing.
Rumors.
It's all rumors. It's okay.
Yeah, there's no fact.
Yeah, and I've got my stuff and you've got your thing, and
Yes,
let's go and have a chat. I say.
And I've got
Yes.
a massive cock.
Yes, that too. Okay, you can fuck him to death if he's really creepy. Let's go to dinner.
Thank you.
Okay, so while the rest of the party have been sort of delegating and deliberating and in the tavern and leaving the tavern, Dusk, you headed straight up to the castle.
Yeah.
So this sort of description applies to you, but like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, okay.
But everything's the same here. So as you ascend through the town's dead. There aren't even lights on in the windows of people's houses. That's how dead it is. You're sort of ambling along, the only light, but the light of the moon and the occasional sort of torch lantern that's been lit up in the stairs, like sort of zigzagging through the town, going up towards the spire of Castle Daggerford. As you head towards Castle Daggerford, there's a large sweeping staircase heading straight into sort of what you assume to be the main hall of the castle. There are 2 guards stationed there, looking quite sort of nervous. Occasionally their eyes sort of dart back and forth.
Guys,
Dusk,
this is really fucking creepy.
Dusk, you've encountered them first. You were ahead of the rest of the party. So you approach these guards guarding the gate. One of them sort of puts out a spear towards the gate. Stay right there. What's your business in Castle Daggerford?
I got this letter from the Baron. I'm supposed to meet him.
Oh yes.
I
Can I
take
just
the
have a quick look at that? Yes.
I take the letter from my backpack and show it to him.
He sort of he takes it and gives you a nod. Gives it a quick look. Yep, that's definitely the Baron's handwriting. Oh, fantastic. And he sort of glances over to his other guard friend, and he gives a nod, and then he nods back. Yes, you're permitted to enter. The dining hall is up the large stairs to the left.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you go in,
go in.
and I'll switch to the rest of the party for a second. You see the same things as you guys go up. The township is largely dark. There are only the occasional lantern torches sort of guiding the way up the stairs towards Castle Daggerford. You see the large spiral staircase once again, heading straight into the castle main hall. 2 guards, spears in hand. And as you approach, again they say, what's your business at Castle Daggerford?
Naaman,
We're here
show me your letter.
Oh, yes. I pull out my letter. I think that all here in my group, we have gotten this letter. And this letter says from Baron Morven, he says that we should join him in...
Yes, excellent. More letter bearers. You were expected.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Very handsome.
Do you need to
We
see?
like you.
He just
Don't
says,
fucking push it,
Yeah,
man.
the Baron's
Just
handwriting.
let us-
I think you know. I think I know why you're here. You are permitted to enter. Dining
Thanks.
halls. Up the big stairs. First door on the left.
Many thanks.
Thank you.
Come on in, friends.
This is so fucking creepy, you guys.
No, they were just guards.
One of the guards sort of takes the deadbolt off the big double doors and sort of heaves one open with a creak. And as you enter, there is a large, opulent, great hall area with like these stone arches either side and a long red carpet stretching towards sort of a double staircase in sort of an oval shape, leading to a balcony at the
Holy
end
shit.
of the room. And there is also a throne in between the 2 staircases. The throne's empty. There are lights on in the Great Hall. There are sort of flickering torches above you. The guards again instructed you go up the big stairs, first door on the left.
Boy, there's probably a lot of booze here.
Can you lead me to it?
Yes. Don't worry about it. Guys, please. Let's just see what we can find.
Let's just go and see what else
Okay,
to offer.
Borg, follow tiny girl who knows where ale is.
I like you, Borg.
I have tiny feet.
All right, so we walk up the stairs
You guys head towards the stairs.
as instructed.
Yep. You head towards the dining room. Let me just pull up the dining room. See. Okay, so as you enter, there is this sort of opulent yet private-looking sort of dining lounge in front of you. Candles have already been lit in candelabras. all over the table. The entire place seems to be coated in this sort of luxuriant red velvet, and yet in the air there is a sort of musty quality, as though no one's been in this room for a while. As you all enter, you do not see Baron Morven at the head of the table. However, you all catch in one of the center seats as you enter a sort of long white-haired, grey-faced Asimar woman. And as they approach dusk, you see the motley crew stream through the door. A white dragonborn with leather armor and daggers at her side. You see a small gnome wizard with a white beard and glasses. You see a half-elf ranger with long brown hair and a bow at her back. You see a imposing, large half-orc female with sort of piecemeal armor. And then you also see a golden-haired Asimar in monk vestments last through the door.
We can't see anything, Karma.
You guys can't see anything? Wow.
No.
No.
Zoomed out, but it's a black square.
Oh, okay. How about now?
No.
No.
Nope.
Oh, fuck off.
No.
I know what it is. Boom.
There we
go.
go. Okay, yeah.
Sexy.
Yeah, that's the dining room I was
Ooh.
describing. So yeah,
Shit,
the
Borg, you're
party
gonna get some ale.
enters through this door. I've already described the whole room. That's what it looks like. There's like hunting trophies all over the walls, and there are like glass cases of like rare tomes, you presume. But yeah, Dust, you sit there and you see this. You think you recognize that golden-haired Asimar in the moment.
Yeah. But I don't do anything. I just kind of ignore it, and I'm here for for business, really.
Dawn, you also you don't really catch too much of a glimpse of the Asimar woman that's sat at the table. She sort of intentionally remains stigmatized because it keeps her head down. However, again, you think you recognize her.
Yeah, I have a feeling that I recognize her.
Right.
But I'm not entirely sure.
You all take seats at the table. Can I say who's sitting next to who? What side?
I'm sitting next to Borg because we're gonna fucking cheers in the ale.
I'll sit next to Namin.
Borg doesn't share ale.
I'm not gonna share your ale, weirdo.
I sit on the other side all alone.
I'll just sit somewhere in the middle of everything.
I sit on the edge, so I have the.
Can I have a
easiest way
pillow?
out.
I sit on the edge. I like.
I'll
that.
find
I like
Namin a pillow so he can reach.
So I
I'll
can
let
see
you
over.
sit
that
there.
a lot. So as you sit down, for about a minute in silence, through the same door as the rest of you entered, a sort of very primly dressed, proper with her hair tied up in a bun, elven lady comes in, and she comes in with a large tray sort of held in her hand like a waitress, and she comes in, sets it up on the table, and as she does so, several other sort of servant girls in very prim, proper uniform come in with their own serving trays. They give them to each individual person, and they sort of reveal the domes atop the serving trays, and before you is a very sort of extravagant, luxurious meal of pheasant with some mashed potatoes and exotic spices and various vegetables. The kind of meal that you would only get every few years or once every year, maybe for an adventurer. It's very formally placed. They also bring in cups of wine and cups of ale, setting them aside on each table. Of course, your forks. The silverware is extremely fine and intricate with loads of patterns embroidered upon it. And when everything's sort of set up on the table, the elves and the servant girls sort of politely bow. They give a little courtesy, and then they all leave in a line and shut the door behind them.
Well,
Holy
that was
shit,
very
you
nice.
guys.
I told you, Kale, it would be very important that we came for this dinner.
Holy shit, so worth it. Look at this. Amazing.
I still feel uneasy about this. It feels
Hey, don't
strange.
worry about it. Just
Don't
eat the
worry about it,
food.
just free
it's
food,
free.
free wine. What could possibly go wrong? Nothing. I'm very smart. I'm very smart.
I'll
I don't
have
see
your
any-
drinks if you don't want to have them.
I'll have your food. Just saying.
I'll have
saying.
all your drinks because this cup of ale certainly isn't enough for board.
Or you can have my ale, but I will take my wine.
Okay,
have my
let's
drinks.
swap. I'll have your wine. You can have my ale. How about that?
That's fine.
Fine.
I need you guys to continue just because, like, the next time I speak is important and I need Freya to be.
Right. Okay. So
So,
we got
like,
all
okay.
this food. We got all this wine. Where's this guy anyway? The guy that what was his name? The
Morven.
account, the
Baron.
Duke, Baron.
Baron
Right,
Morven.
Very important.
Baron
Yes.
Morven, Lord of Daggerford.
Yeah.
He sounded scared though, didn't he?
Oh, in his letter, he definitely sounded scared. But who knows? He gave us free food. Maybe he just wanted us to know us better. He might be
Yeah,
scared of
maybe
me.
he just wants friends. you
No,
know?
I think he's scared of me because I'm powerful. Have you seen
Scared of
my?
you?
Have you seen my magic? You know I
Yes,
can.
they have seen your magic. Yeah, like they have, yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, I have.
Oh,
I
don't
wish I
say
didn't.
like that. I'll get all insecure.
Hey, you know I love you. I just mean you're very slight of stature.
Are you saying I'm short?
I'm saying that a
Yes.
baron should be at least 2 meters tall. Like, listen to that.
I will cut
a
him.
baron?
I will cut him. Take up the knife. I'll
He
cut
should
him.
be huge.
Come here. You're black screen for
Calm
me
down.
now.
It's fine. You're frozen screen for me. Don't worry about it. Seriously.
Okay.
Seriously, don't even worry about it, that kind of shit anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. As you were all sort of discussing the meal of the Baron, sort of discussing the letter, as well as eating the food, which is
Delicious.
superbly cooked and spiced, just some of the best food you ever had.
Mwah.
I haven't eaten this well in years, honestly.
The door sort of creaks open, the same
Oh,
door
shit.
from the hallway, and another very primly dressed elf servant girl walks through. She sort of stands near the door and just bows her head.
Can I say hi to her in Elvish?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can say hi to her in Elvish.
What
she
up,
doesn't
Beach?
respond.
in
She
Elvish.
doesn't respond.
Okay.
A shadow sort of casts itself over the room, and a silhouette of a man with a walking cane sort of makes its presence clear in the doorway. The man walks in to reveal a very old, stressed-looking man. His balding hair has grown wild, sort of sideburns all the way down to his shoulders. His hair sort of tied back in a ponytail, all messy and sort of matted. His once presumably neat mustache has overgrown over his lip. He's covered in liver spots and wrinkles. He wears fantastic fineries of fur and velvet, and he carries in his hand this large black walking cane that he uses to support himself. Elf girl, that'll be all. I need no further assistance. Thank you very much. She bows her head again, and as the old man makes his way towards the head of the table and takes a seat, he nods, and the elfin girl leaves the room, closing the door behind her. He clasps his hands together and looks at the rest of you, observing each of you with old, tired eyes. What, have you already started eating without me?
Oh,
Yes.
I'm terribly sorry, sir, but it was just so it looked so delicious.
Oh,
and I'm-
Terribly sorry.
Give over. It's fine. I'm tired enough of meeting with other lords and the damn noble etiquette. By all means.
What do you want
Begin.
from us?
Oh, straight to business, I see. I admire that. You see, there's a concern of mine in my town, and it started quite minor, and it's become quite a bit of a thorn in my side. You see, last week or so, there appeared beyond our city walls, a mysterious band of travelers, not too far from the south entrance. Caravans, playing odd music. Now, normally this wouldn't be a problem. We see travelers come and go through Daggerford all the time, you see. But they seemed harmless at first. But I began receiving reports of them harassing townsfolk to begin with, demanding money and wine, threatening to hex anyone who didn't pay up their artificial toll on my township's south entrance. A few days ago, I ordered several guards to scare them away. They were affecting business, you see. People didn't want to travel through Daggerford with these this rabble gathered around our south entrance, demanding things, almost mugging people of their belongings. I sent my guards, and they returned a few hours later. I spoke with them about the job they'd done, and they said that they'd left our visitors entirely alone, spoke very sympathetically, bit of a glazed look in their eyes. Now, I'm no fool. I believe they were magically charmed by these travelers.
Charmed,
This-
you say?
Yes, I've
this
seen
is
it
when
many
my
times.
plans, really took hold. Over the past few days, as nightfall has gone, anyone who has left Daggerford through its south entrance has not returned. And admittedly, in my perhaps elderly paranoia, I have just decided to shut off the town merely for a few days until I managed to think of a solution to the problem. I tried going to the guilds, but they weren't interested. Nothing exciting or profitable about scaring off some wanderers. So I heard of a few of you, do-gooders of the land, yes, people who are used to dealing with this sort of thing. You do realize this has potentially grave consequences for my township if these.
I'm sorry, Baron. These travelers. Do you have any recollection of how they look?
I have not seen them myself, but the reports say that they are a sort of dour people. Around their campment, there appears to be some sort of thick fog that lingers all throughout the night.
Smells like fucking bloodsuckers to me, man. I'm sorry, Your Highness, your Baroness. Excuse my language.
I was merely shocked that you would jump to such a conclusion so quickly. But yes, I digress. They have been observed to light bonfires and dance in bizarre and
Fucking
particular
vampires,
shapes
I'm sure it is.
through the night. Perhaps so. If by chance they are of a human nature, I would prefer a solution of least possible violence. Please, I'm inviting you here not only to make your acquaintance, of course, but to merely request that you send a stern message to these fawns in my sight, and deliver a message on my behalf that they must go, they must leave my lands and continue on with their journey.
And what if we do use violence?
Come what may. If they don't leave, I'll have their wagons burned to the ground by dawn. You are very much my last resort before I
cannot speak for my fellow travelers. I personally hate the fucking bloodsuckers. I'll leave it to my friends here to decide what we might want to do. Personally, I fucking want to. Yeah.
Excuse our half elf. I believe she has had a few fair drinks, and she really dislikes people who dislike other people. What do we get for doing this job? I'm just, you have given us
a reward.
dinner.
Of course, a reward. What's the exchange rate? I have vast coffers that merely sit there waiting for my heirs to gobble them. 50 gold pieces each.
What, to kill like
Just to
200
give you in
vampires?
context, 50 gold pieces would let you all live a fairly luxurious life for like a few
Oh.
years.
Okay.
It's like a very good amount of money.
It's not WoW gold.
right, okay.
Yeah, it's not WoW God where you get millions. Yeah.
You'll see, as I am a little gnome, and 50 gold pieces sounds pretty good to me. I'm not sure about my travelers, but I'll do it for 50 gold. Even if they don't, I'll do it for 50.
I'll fucking kill vampires for free. Give me the gold, I'll fucking kill them good.
I think we can solve this without killing anyone. I don't see the need to.
I'm sure we can solve it without killing anyone. Maybe a casualty here or there. Who knows? Who can never know.
We'll take it when we get there.
Yes.
Borg only trusts ale suckers, not blood suckers.
There we go! A man of my heart. He knows what to do.
Borg is not a man.
So
Whatever you are, Borg, you'll get your ale. Just help me kill the bloodsuckers.
So, pardon my ignorance. You agree to this proposal, yes?
Oh, yes,
Yes.
We do.
Of course we do. Whatever we can do to help.
Excellent. You have lifted a great burden off my shoulder.
Oh, don't question it, mate.
Mate.
Of course. Yes. Yes, mate.
Sorry. I don't know how this came out.
Yeah, very well then. I have I assume that the thorns in my side, the mysterious visitors, will be out in force tonight. A few hundred paces from the southern entrance.
Then let's
Now
not
is a
waste any
perfectly
time.
opportune time. Once you finish your meals, of course.
Let's not waste any time then. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm sure we can bring some of this
Sounds
food
great.
with us.
Yes,
Just
let's
take a
just...
big bite and just jump off.
Maybe we can get some flagons for this wine. That would be great, you know, just like...
Yes, of course. Excuse me. And he sort of reaches into his pocket and brings out a little silver bell and rings it. In walks in the elf servant girl that sort of ushered him in. He sort of takes her over and whispers in her ear. She nods, leaves the room. Then about a minute later, all the rest of the servant girls come in with sort of mead cups with lockable lids on them, so that you can take your alcohol home.
Are you happy, Borg?
Almost.
Alright, let's do this. Let's fucking go check. Let's see what we can find.
Let's see what we can see, yeah.
Now remember, it might be magical fogs. We might need a special person with magical expertise. So can anyone carry me down these stairs? My feet hurt.
Let your magic carry you. Weak
I can't
little
carry
man.
you, but I can kill vampires.
Yeah, okay, I'll
If
just
I need to, I will carry on my back.
Well, I would appreciate it. Surely.
Oh my god, I love this romance.
His tiny little legs.
Yes.
Let us
Okay.
go then.
So the Lord sort of bows to the rest of you. You finish your meals, and you are ushered out of the castle's main hall by the elfin servant girls, who all sort of like give a bow and go back into the main castle hall and close the doors behind them as you leave. You are back in the silence of Daggerford at night. You can make your way towards the south entrance and begin going to track down the gypsies.
Man, this wine is really nice.
So we just go straight there. Let's go straight to the
Yeah.
south next
Let's go for it.
Faster we can solve this issue, the better.
Exactly. Let's just get it done.
50 gold pieces. Just saying.
Pretty good. Also, I get to
Okay.
kill the bloodsuckers, so...
As
Well, of
fast as
course.
we can.
So you head all out of the southern entrance. The guards sort of stop you on your way, but once they see that you have a letter from Lord Morwen, and you have expressed permission to go through the south entrance. They reluctantly comply and open the gates for you. You see immediately as the south gates open slowly, a sort of thick white fog sort of begins to creep into the town, and you see that there is a extremely thick cover of fog all around the south entrance. You can see maybe 10 feet in front of you before it's entirely obscured by the fog.
I cast light.
Okay, yeah.
On the on the gate. Oh wait,
On the
no,
gate.
I can't do that. It's too big.
You can just cast it on a weapon and then hold it like a
Yeah,
torch.
I'll cast it on my weapon, and yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah. You sort of take a hand over your weapon, bless your weapon, and sort of a radiant light bursts from it. You hold it up like a torch, and you can lead the way into the fog. The light does pierce some of the fog. It is, as far as you can tell, acting like normal fog would. However, it is extremely thick. Do you all follow the Asamar lady?
Can I stealth in the back?
Sure thing, yeah. I'll just... You don't have to roll a stealth check or anything. I will assume that you are sort of travelling a little bit further back from the party, sort of trying to keep hidden. That's fine. Yep. So as you sort of make your way down along the road, sort of groping blindly on the path through the thick fog, first of all, you hear it. You hear faint music carrying what little wind is left from the south. As you get closer and closer, you begin to see the faint flickers of fires. And as you draw even closer, you see figures, shadowy figures, maybe a dozen or so, dancing wildly around the fires in the moonlight. There are also several sort of tents and wagons set up all around the area.
Smells
Let's get
dead
into
here,
something
guys.
a little bit more atmospheric. It's bigger than this. It's a large encampment. The small fire is a big bonfire. That's the best I could find picture-wise. But yeah, just imagine that it's this sort of setting, except it's several caravans, and there are people sort of dancing wildly. There are people shaking sort of maracas and banging drums, and there are people dancing rhythmically. And of course, as you draw closer, the music gets louder.
Doesn't seem all that bad.
Just seems like some friendly old folks having a dance.
I don't trust it. I do not trust it.
It's just music. What could it be? It's just music, people dancing.
Smells dead here.
We should try and talk to them at least. See what they have to say for themselves.
Sorry, but...
I'll stay in the shadows.
Do you approach the
I approach,
camp?
I will approach.
Yeah, I approach as well.
Okay. Most of them keep. However, one male sort of looks towards you, gives you a quizzical look as you sort of he begins to see your silhouettes through the fog, and then his eyes sort of light up, and you hear carrying along the wind. He shouts, "Stand them here! Stand them here!" And as he shouts this from the back caravan from you, the door swings open, and out steps a skinny, short man who can sort of vaguely make out his features through the fog that remains. The rest of the travellers keep continuing dancing, chanting, sort of banging their drums. This man, he walks slowly towards you, and you can see as he approaches, he has this kindly smile on his face. He has a long white goatee that is braided at the end. He's balding. He has like leather spots over his head. He's dressed in very loose clothing, colourful clothing. There are reds and oranges and greens, sashes and garments sort of covering him. He approaches you. Give me a second.
Props.
Props, indeed.
I can't see. God damn it.
I can't see anything yet either.
Neither can I. I'm just guessing.
Oh, he's got his bandana on. Okay.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm not gonna reconnect here.
He approaches. This isn't the best I could say it, to be honest. I could do better, but whatever. It'll do.
Does
Will
the job.
do, kinda.
Yeah.
The old man sort of walks towards you with a large smile on his face and sort of like a skip, like a dance in his step, and he's staring right towards you. Well, what may I help you with, travellers who have chanced upon my little camp here?
We heard some rumors about this encampment over here.
Rumors? Rumors? What would they be?
We heard you've been doing things to the townsfolk nearby.
Doing things? Oh no, they are much mistaken. You see, those that didn't come back were merely travelers. Yes, travelers. They caught the love of adventure. You see, from my people, and they
Shut it.
didn't. Oh, what's this? And you
We are here in the orders of the Baron. He wants you gone.
Oh, I see.
What do you think of the Baron?
We have no quarrel with Baron Morvin. Oh no, we don't wish to make enemies of the good Lord. No, I have we will leave. We will leave. Yes, we will leave. Yes,
Okay.
my band will leave on one condition.
And that is?
I have a story to tell all of you. First you listen, then we go.
Sounds like a proper proposition to me. Let me hear.
Do you trust him?
I trust
Why
anyone
are
with
your
a good
friends
story.
dancing?
Oh, we're just free spirits, you see. It's hard to stop the dance once it's started, you see.
Let's hear him out.
Alright, if you say so.
Let's hear the story. What can a story do, eh? I've never heard of any story hurting anyone.
Excellent.
That's like
Very well then. Excuse me, children. We've got visitors here. Yes. All the travellers sort of begin dancing away from the fire, and they sort of congregate back towards the main caravan. You see, now that the sort of dancing obstruction is gone, you see there are several sort of benches aligned around the fire. Curiously enough, there are 7 benches, one for him, and one for each of you. He sits upon one of the benches, eyes all of you. Take a seat.
Thank you. Oh, this guy is very nice. Oh, brought a seat for me.
He sort of sidles up towards the gnome who sat beside him. Wasn't there meant to be one more of you?
One more for us?
Yes.
I'm not
would
entirely
you
sure
know?
what you mean.
How
Oh,
would you know?
no, he's just whispering. He's whispering. He can only
Oh.
Nami can hear this.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure what you mean. How? One more?
No matter. I'm sure it will be resolved quickly. Now then, let's get on with it, shall we? He sort of unbuckles a large leather skin, like a water skin, from his belt and takes a great gulp. You see wine dripping down his face, like getting mad in his beard. Takes a great gulp and spits it into the fire in the middle. The fire roars and turns from orange into a luminescent green. We come from an ancient land whose name is long forgotten, a land of kings. Our enemies forced us from our homes, and now we wander the lost roads. The dark shape in the fire coalesces, taking the form of a man. You see a man being knocked from his horse, a spear piercing his side. Stanimir continues. One night, a wounded soldier staggered into our camp and collapsed. We nursed his terrible injury and quenched his thirst with our wine. He survived. When we asked who he was, he wouldn't say. All he wanted was to return home, but we were deep in the lands of his enemies. We took him as one of our own and followed him back towards his homeland. His enemies hunted him. They said he was a prince. Yet we didn't give him up, even when their assassins fell upon us like wolves. Deep in the bonfire, you see the dark figure standing with sword drawn, fighting off a host of shadowy shapes. This man of royal blood fought to protect us as we protected him. We bore him safely to his home, and he thanked us. He said, I owe you my life. Stay as long as you wish. Leave when you choose, and know that you will always be safe here. The figure in the dancing fire vanquishes its final foe, then disperses in a cloud of smoke and embers. Stanomir's face turns from the jolly, dancing man that you've come to know into a more somber expression. He stares at each one of you, examining each one of you. A curse has fallen upon our noble prince, turning him into a tyrant. We alone have the power to leave his domain. We've travelled far and wide to find heroes such as yourselves, to end our dread lord's curse and put his troubled soul to rest. Our leader, back home, Madame Eva, knows all. Will you return to Barovia with us and speak with her? He clasps his hands together and waits upon your response.
I'm not sure about this.
Borg is very much not into this witchcraft bullshit.
But he did say he would tell us a story and then go. So maybe if we help him as well, then everyone wins, huh?
It seems very risky, I have to say.
Risk
But
makes
we don't
fun.
have much of a choice.
Exactly. What do you say, Vivian Dawn?
You accompany us, yes. We may need protection. The roads are dire and dangerous. We don't have any warriors among us.
If we follow you and talk to this prince of yours, will you
Yes.
leave this town?
Of course, at once. You will never know that we were here.
I think we should follow.
I think so too. Just say.
Should we return to the Baron before and tell him that we got rid of them?
I think we should follow
Come
them
back
first.
later, man.
The night is close. You can send correspondence to the Baron at another date, surely.
Good idea.
Maybe we should attack them after they're going home, and we should go back to the castle, tell the Baron we removed them, and then when they're going home, we'll steal their money on their way home.
Are you saying this out loud?
I hope you're not.
No. Ignore my baby. She's had a lot of drinks.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, it's just the smoke and this mysterious fog. I think we'll follow you. And we will come send some correspondence.
Yeah, sure.
Excellent, sir. It's agreed then. You'll accompany us to our land, yes, and speak with our dear prince.
Yeah, I don't see why.
Excellent. Absolutely excellent. There's so much to prepare. We will leave at once. Yes, we will. We will leave at once. I will gather the band, and we shall depart. Friends, travelers, we've got heroes to see our poor prince. May they save him from his curse. Ilwick, while this is happening, what are you up to?
I just wrote that I'm rubbing my temples in the bushes, you damn idiots. This bloodsucker will be our end. I will not join this fucking band of bloodsuckers. Not happening. I will go back to the Baron and tell him what happened.
Okay.
I don't trust this guy.
Okay. There's a good reason why
You're still in the shadows. We can't really comment on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's nothing that anyone can do about it. So
No.
you're going back to Daggerford.
Yes.
Okay. As you go back, you see that there are again guards at the south entrance, and there are gates against the south entrance. One of the guards stop you. Halt! Baron Morven has
Yes.
declared that we don't leave any travelers in between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m.
I have a letter, and the fucking vampires have beguiled my friends, and now I'm all alone. Let me back in so I can talk to Mr. Bossman, please.
You notice the
Here's
fog.
my letter.
You notice the fog around you getting thicker. Its tendrils crawl up your legs through your
Jesus
body.
Christ, here we go.
They look at the letter.
Please.
Do you think I'm stupid? This is a clear forgery. You're not allowed in.
Forgery? Don't you even know your own boss's fucking handwriting?
I don't need to talk to commoners like this anymore.
Oh,
Those are the rules.
Oh my god.
Bugger off or I'll be talking to the man upstairs.
Fuck's sake, I'll have to fucking follow them, won't I? God damn it. Oh, idiots. Sons of bitches. I follow my friends, because these idiots won't let me in. But I follow from a distance.
Okay, fantastic. So you see the caravan camp sort of begin to pack up. Each of you get on a caravan, take a seat on a caravan as it begins wheeling off along the path. Is it actually said Kale? The name?
Kaylee, it's Kaylee. It's pronounced Kaylee.
Kaylee. Right, Kaylee stays behind using the trees as cover, sort of wandering through the trees and the fog. I love Kale. I love Kale too.
Sorry, serious business.
You are going south along the tradeway. After a few hours of travel, the fog begins to get thicker and thicker. You faintly hear on the leader of the caravan, Stanamir's voice ring through. Oh, it's a foggy night today, eh, lads? Hey, you better buckle up. You never know whether you might hit a rock on the path or something. You begin steadily traveling. The fog eventually gets so thick that you can barely even see the trees on each side of the path. Eventually, the fog begins to clear slowly. You find yourself in the forest, just like the forest that you left behind. However, at a split second, the shapes that are sort of barely visible in the fog change. Their shadows change into completely different forms. Branches point in different directions, and something seems off in the air. The caravan keeps trundling on as though nothing's happened.
Did you guys see that? I saw some weird stuff in the trees. The trees were moving.
It's just your tiny little brain playing pranks on you.
Ignore it now. I'm sure they would have noticed as well. And they would have probably stopped or done something if we were in any danger.
As dusk finishes this, you hear Stanamir's voice ring from the lead caravan. Here we are, my friends, just past the barriers into the great kingdom of Barovia, our homeland and the home of our dire prince. Yes, we're not long off now, off Madame Ava's camp. Just a bit longer, yes? You begin trundling through the fog. The sort of path winds and snakes through a dark forest. Let's get into a big map, shall we?
One with fog of war thing.
Yes, don't worry about it. I'll adjust it.
Hey, there we go. Yeah, don't forget to zoom out. You'll see us.
Zoom out and find yourselves, guys.
Still just a black screen for me.
It's all
Keep
over.
zooming out.
Yeah, just zoom all the way out. It's all
Zoom
all
all
to
the way out.
right.
Yeah.
On the right, you'll see a little square that's revealed.
Yeah. Where's my?
Also check if you can actually move your icon thing. Because I'm able to move mine.
Yeah.
Which you should be able to.
Yeah, everyone just check your
Yeah,
tokens. This is
I
the
can-
first time you've seen your tokens.
Mhm.
Good stuff. All right, cool. Great. So you're sort of trundling along this road. As you go minute by minute, the atmosphere seems more and more claustrophobic by the minute. Kaylee, this includes you. You are just sort of tracking the caravan tracks behind the heading towards the trail. You feel this as well, and you see the trees shift in the deep fog. However, you're of course a ways behind the caravan, but you can still follow them because they leave really obvious wheel tracks in the mud. There are these black pools of water on each side of the path that are like dark mirrors around the muddy roadway. Giant trees loom on both sides of the road, their branches clawing at the fog. It's very claustrophobic, very closed off. You keep slowly trundling until eventually the fog begins to part and you see sort of vast shapes in the distant fog. Give me a second. As you draw closer, you see this. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
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 Yeah.
You see along the path, there are these giant walls and there are these giant gates embedded into the walls. And each side of the gate, there is a sort of massive statue of a soldier with a sword pointed down and its head removed. You hear from the lead caravan, "These are the famed gates of Barovia, one of the strongest pieces of fortification in all our land. Don't worry, I'm a good friend of the guards. We'll get through nice and easy." You continue sort of trundling along towards the gates. As you get closer, you notice that there are sort of dew sort of rippling down these statues, as if it's like freshly made from like a winter's morning dew on the grass. As you get closer, the gates spontaneously open in front of the lead caravan, very slowly, very steadily, and they creak open to reveal a sort of misty, wooded valley directly beneath you. The caravans pass each one through the gates without issue, and then as the rear caravan goes, Kaylee, you see this. The doors begin to close.
Fuck.
Slowly, but they begin to close.
I run in.
You run in.
Yes.
Make me a dexterity check. This will be the first roll of the game. Okay, cool. So as you run, you realise you aren't going to get there in time. You sort of resolve to just jump and roll through the gates. You almost eat shit on the roadway. However, you do manage to sort of roll through and just barely avoid getting your foot caught in the gates as they slam shut behind you.
Holy fucking shit, yes. Closed.
So the party begins to go forth along the road. You guys can see the road ahead.
Yeah.
There are these sort of towering trees along each side of the road. They're so big that their tops are sort of lost in this heavy grey mist. And all the sunlight in the area appears to be blocked out, except for this sort of dim, grey, all-encompassing light that sort of washes over everything.
I can't see anything.
Are you
Try
not on the
to
map yet?
yeah, zoom out, and
I'm all the way zoomed out. Oh, there it is.
Alright.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I found it.
Right, so Kayla's just a little bit behind. The woods are almost completely silent. There's only like the slight chirping of insects on each side of the forest. And yet they exude this awful claustrophobic feeling, as if there is some like tormented scream coming from the forest all around you that you can't hear. Each of you. Okay. Just dusk. You notice something that the other party members assumedly don't. You take in your surroundings and you catch a whiff of something nefarious on the wind, and you know this stench very well. It's the scent of fresh death in the air. Do you do anything about it? Say anything about it?
No.
Right, okay.
I'm too. Yeah, I noticed it, but that's it.
You begin sort of steadily trundling along the road. Takes around about a few hours till you see like even the most basic vestiges of civilization. You peer through the fog, and eventually you begin to make out these sort of tall shapes that are looming out of the fog. Slowly, the sort of muddy ground underneath you that's been going throughout the forest journey, it gives way to these slick, wet, dark cobblestones. You begin to recognize the tall shapes as you go further into the fog as village dwellings. The windows of each house stare out from pools of blackness. No sound cuts the silence, except for a faint, mournful sobbing that echoes through the streets from a distance. You begin to just trundle into this village area. You hear Stanamir's voice boon from the lead caravan. Oh, for our new companions, this is the village of Barovia, named after the land, you see. Not exactly the friendliest village around. I mean, you can find a drink and a meal. Regardless, we're not stopping, we're merely passing through. Just to give you some... Look. Oh, never mind, don't worry about it.
Are anyone in the same caravan as I am?
Sorry?
Are we all in the same caravan, or are we in different ones?
You can decide. Did you all pick different caravans? There were 3 caravans. There were 3 gypsy caravans.
Yeah.
You can all decide which caravan you were on at which time. Okay.
Yeah.
So you travel through the village of Barovia. It's not a particularly big village. It really is just a bunch of buildings along a main path. As you travel through, these streets are dark and barren. There is no one outside. A few of you, the more perceptive among you, catch glimpses of gloomy-faced people looking out of their windows and quickly shutting them and locking them when they see people walking past. Again, you don't hear anything except for this airy, mournful sobbing that's just surrounding this village. Eventually, you pass through this awful place. Kale, you find it harder to track the caravans now that they're on cobblestone. Kaylee, you find it harder to track the caravans now that they're on cobblestones. However, the fog appears to part slightly while you're in the village, and you can actually make out their shapes, so you can just follow them that way.
Okay.
You pass through the village, and again, you are back on a winding road through the forest. The caravan follows the winding road all along the forest until it eventually gets to a crossroads. Upon this crossroads, just like...
Can I ask something real quick?
Here. Yeah, go for it.
Just for future reference, because it's not really that important about what we just did, but I feel like I remember that orcs, or at least half orcs or something, have like a heightened darkness seeing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I should be able to use that in situations like that, right?
Right. I changed it. I did say in the Discord, I changed it from dark vision. Regardless, dark vision wouldn't actually help you in fog. It's more like what it basically does is if you are plunged into total darkness, you can see like faint, like grey vision.
I'm gonna pee
You know, like
while
a
you guys do
CCTV
this.
camera.
Same.
Okay, 2 people
Alright.
pee and just give it a little bit of pause. But regardless, that's out purely because it makes dungeons really dumb. Because you can like walk into a dungeon and I'm like trying to set up an ambush and you're just like, oh, there's some skeletons, go kill them.
Yeah.
Like kills a lot of suspense.
Yeah.
So instead, everyone who's got dark vision, which is everyone except Hanami and Yuki, you guys get +1 to perception checks in darkness. Like any perception, hearing, sight, smell, anything like that. And to be honest, that's more powerful than dark vision is anyway. So
Yeah, that's
both,
true.
really.
That seems more fair, to be honest. More fun, really.
I'll wait until these guys get back and then I'll keep going with the description.
Gnomes have dark vision too, by the way.
It was just a like a wonderment.
Okay, yeah,
because-
gnomes do get dark vision, so it's exactly the same for you.
Yeah, alright, I'm gonna go turn on some lights and pieces and...
Why not?
But if it's such so dark, how do this village know that we are coming?
It's not necessarily dark. It's very foggy, and there's like, you know, when it's like a really glum winter's afternoon, and yeah, there's sunlight, but it's not sunlight where everything sort of gets illuminated in sort of a yellow glow. It's sort of oppressively grey when everything's overcast and cloudy. That's what it's like. That's what the weather's like in this place.
Okay.
There you go.
Right, great, we're back. Okay, so you all sort of, the caravan sort of goes towards this crossroad. There is an old, unoccupied wooden gallows that sort of creaks in a chill wind that's sort of blowing side to side. The noose still hangs from the gallows. There is also a signpost opposite you that points in 3 directions corresponding with the 3 roads going off the crossroads. To the east, the direction that you came, it says Barovia Village. To the southwest, it says Ravenloft and Valaki. And to the northwest, it says Tessia Pool. The northwest fork sort of slants out and disappears into the trees, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. The caravan leader sort of takes his caravan and veers it right, so that you are now sort of going the northern way, with the arrow pointed towards Tessia Pool. You all begin to leave. The last caravan passes through. Kaylee, while you're just in this area waiting to follow them, you
Yep.
all hear a creaking sound coming from this gallows. The rest of you don't particularly notice, and you carry on. However, Kaylee, you take your eyes off the gallows for a second to look at the caravan. You hear this creak, and you look back,
Mhm.
and where before there was nothing, there now hangs a lifeless, grey body hanging from the noose. The
I
breeze
draw my bow.
turns the figure towards you, and its dead eyes fix upon you. You feel like you might recognize this body. Upon closer inspection, you see
No.
it looks like
No.
you shudder at the thought. It has the face of your father.
I still draw my bow. I don't believe it.
A sound from the east distracts you. You quickly look away and look back. And again, there is nothing appearing in the gallows. They're as peaceful as how you found them. The caravans, you hear the sound creaking on towards the northwest. Do you follow?
Yes.
You all carry along the short road for a moderate amount of time, maybe half an hour, until eventually there is a clearing that sort of is adjacent to a large flowing river. The road gradually disappears, and it's replaced by just a muddy path that runs through the trees. A canopy of mist and branches disappears as the tree cover gives you space to breathe finally. There are black clouds that you can see roiling and writhing far above you in the sky. You see before you 5 colourful round tents, each roughly 10 feet in diameter, pitched outside a ring of 4 barrel-topped wagons. As you move closer, you can see that there is one much larger tent near the shore of the lake. Near this tent, some unbridled horses are drinking from the river. You hear the mournful strains of accordions and lutes clashing with the singing of several brightly clad figures dancing around the bonfire, similar to the travellers that you found south of Daggerford. A footpath continues beyond this encampment, meandering north between the river and the forest edge. Oh yeah, can everyone see that?
No,
black
sorry.
square.
Yeah.
Black square, yeah.
How about now?
It's nothing.
No.
Alright, I know why.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Excellent.
That's a lot of horse.
Maybe you can get something to eat.
You see that there are several travellers sort of gathered around the bonfire, playing instruments, drinking, eating, dancing with each other. There are these caravans that have been set aside, and there are multiple tents covered against the rain. As you head in, you hear again the voice of Stanimir ring out. "We're finally here, eh? Madam Ava's camp. She's stationed in the big tent over there. She will know the answers that you seek, and she will help you find our prince and free him of his dread curse." Yes, the rest of you lot, we're parking just over here. Let's get everything down and sorted, shall we? And they stop in their tracks, and all the travellers get off the caravans and begin unloading various parts of equipment.
Well, we know where she is. Shall we go visit her?
We better.
We're here already.
Yeah.
I was expecting something else. This feels weird. But let's go.
I was expecting a bigger tent, perhaps, but you can never really get what you want.
I suppose.
I see them all going into it, and I hide behind this house.
Right, you all go straight into the tent.
Yeah.
Right, okay, cool. Okay. This is going to be real awkward to do since Wick's outside, but I'll manage. So the 5 of you, you enter into this large, sort of elaborate rectangular tent. As you flap open the door, you immediately notice there are magical flames each side that cast a sort of bluish reddish glow all throughout the tent. It's like sort of steeped in a dim atmospheric blue light. At the end of the tent, there is a low table covered in a black velvet cloth. Glints of light flash from a crystal ball upon the table. You see behind the crystal ball there is a hunched figure casting their hands over it, peering into this depths. As the crone speaks, her voice crackles like dry weeds. Give me a second. See her sort of pull the veil from her face and look towards you. At last you have arrived! Yes. I was expecting each one of you. Oh, gracious. You, she points towards the blonde-haired Asama. You, a child of most auspicious birth, yes, seeking redemption for a home you lost and could do nothing about. Is that correct? I'm sensing a... Dawn! That's your taken name, isn't it? Dusk. You're immediately like... Oh, there'll be enough time for explanations. How about this one? Ha! Yet another angel child. Fancy that! 2 at once in dear old Marineva's tent. Also seek redemption for a home. Yet you have found your place, where perhaps your kin has not. Haven't you, Dusk? Eh? Oh, but let's not linger on impromptu family reunions, shall we? What about this little one? The short one? Yes, you. Fancy yourself a big boy magic user, do you? Eh?
Yes, it does.
Yes,
I know what lies in your spell book. Toddlers of my people cast more powerful spells than ye. Yet, I sense potential. Yes, I do. I sense potential for expansion. Potential for growth. Well, not in regards to your height, at least.
That's so funny.
But
Or
I dally.
glides.
I dally. There is one among you, the large lizard lady. Yes, a mysterious past, Quite hard to scry, but good with a dagger. Yes, I can tell that immediately. And of course, who can forget the large woman there, fond of the ale. Yes, good swinger of an axe. Earned the name Skull Crusher, is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. That makes it 5 out of 5, or does it? 5 out of 6. There were 6 of you that came, weren't there? Weren't there? Madam Ava knows all, you see. The other one, perky lass. Fond of the bow and arrow. Pointy ears. Oh, I'm seeing a dad. I'm seeing a dead dad. That ring any bells? Regardless, I'm sure she'll turn up soon. Yes, very soon, yeah. She won't be able to resist barging in, I guarantee you. Now, you've come for a reason, haven't you? What is it that my old man Stanimir was telling you?
Well, it told us that you have a prince that we need to save. But now I don't
really
want.
now?
No, I want to because you're calling me short and all.
Do the rest of you have anything to say about this?
We heard from Stanimir that we're here to save your prince.
Ah, yes, our great, great prince indeed, yes, of course.
Cursed I hear? Or
What's that?
cursed
I
I
can-
hear? Or Was there something else?
Well, you see,
Was
my
the-
people, we in case you didn't know, we call ourselves the Vistani. We're a romantic people, travellers, wanderers, wayfarers of many lands, including our dear Bavaria. But I'm here to free the curse that grips our prince and grips our land just as much as you are. You could say my strings of fate are interwoven quite well with our dear prince.
So,
Tell you what, I'm a dealer in fate, as you can see by the various trinkets that decorate my abode. I've got an idea. How about I read your fates? I've got a deck of cards that the Vistani use to scry destinies. They call it a Taroka card, named after my great grandmother. If you're interested, I can give you a reading, an understanding of your fates, if you
I
will.
reach out and pick it up.
Careful, dearie. That's pretty expensive and quite one of a kind.
Look through it, looking if there's anything suspicious about the deck.
Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, double fuck.
That's fine. I'll use the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, let me roll for her. Okay, cool. So as you begin to sort of take the deck, flip it over, and flip through, she immediately snatches it back and holds it in her hand. An ambitious one. I like it. But aren't you a fan of the fanfare? The show, if you will, of the scrying procedure? Come, all of you. Sit at the table and old Madam Ava will reveal your fates to you.
I sit down.
I
Might
sit
as
down
well.
too, with my arms crossed. So I'm
What about
angry.
you, Dawn? Scared?
I'm standing in the back.
Remind you of bad memories?
Brother, sit down. I know it's you.
Oh.
I don't know you.
You two haven't spoken in a while, have you? You'll get to know each other, don't you worry. You've got a lot of time to spend so far. And in the future, of course, I can see these things, you know. Very well then, if no one else will accept my hospitality of taking a seat, I'll just see to you two, and the rest of you can just sort of look around and observe, if you will. Observe the reading. Let us commence, shall we?
I decide
She's
to
not-
actually. I decide to sit down.
She just sort of gives a nod to you as you sit down. She sort of makes way, places the crystal ball gently on the ground, leaves her table bare, and pulls out the Taroka deck. She begins shuffling the deck with one hand, sort of like sauteing the cards through. She's obviously done this quite a few times. She's very skilled at this. Let's go to the Taroka board. Yes, there is a Taroka board. So ahead of you, there are sort of these imprints of card backs, sort of imprinted upon the table. She's sort of laid a mat down. Now then, we'll do a card reading, shall we? Now this is the way this little fate triangle procedure works. You see, there are two decks. There's one deck, but I've split them into two. You see, two types of cards: common cards that reveal certain things about your fate, and then there are the high cards, cards that show great potential, that represent fundamental forces in the universe. We will draw from the common cards, then from the high, and from these cards, I will see your destinies unfold before me. Oh, give me a second. I've got to find the goddamn fortune telling. Fucking. Everyone enjoying yourself so far?
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
Just chilling in the back.
Two dudes sitting in a hot tub.
5 feet apart because they're not gay.
Begins shuffling the cards. She separates them into 2 decks, one much larger than the other. And she draws a card from the large deck first. You all see that?
Yes.
Oh!
Kinda.
You can click on it to make it bigger.
You can't read it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right, okay. She places it upon the table on the left-hand side. Just there, yeah. The 7 of Swords. The hooded one. I see a faceless god. He awaits you
Who's this
at
for,
the
by the
end
way?
of a long, winding road. All of you.
Oh, okay.
Your fates are intertwined now. He awaits you at a long and winding road deep in the mountains of this land. In a temple that has since long lost its luster. Fascinating. But we cannot yet linger. We've got 4 more cards that will scry your fates. She takes another card from the large portion, places it at the head, at the top
3 of Wands.
table. Let's see what we have here. Oh, fascinating. The 3 of Stars, the Enchantress. I see. Oh, treasures in your future. One. The cards appear to be telling me the locations of such treasure. How bizarre. Regardless, I see a kneeling woman. A rose of great beauty. Plucked too soon. The master of the marsh knows of whom I speak. Very well. Last of the common cards, shall we? I'm getting the sense each of these cards lead to some sort of fortune in your future. And draw. What do we have here? She places it on the right-hand side of the table. What is this? Oh, the 7 of Glyphs! The charlatan! I see. A lonely mill upon a precipice. The treasure lies within the mill. That's a nice, simple one, isn't it? Now let's get to the good bits. First of all, the high deck, card 4. She sort of recoils as she slowly, with an almost trembling hand, places the card closest to her. She looks at each one of you. The Dark Lord, the worst of all truths. You will face the evil of this land alone, with none to guide you. I didn't expect things to get so grim so quickly, did you?
No.
Moving on. She picks the final card from the smaller deck. Oh, fascinating. Places it in the center of the cards. The mists. They hide everything in this forgotten land, you see. The cards cannot see where the evil lurks. The mists obscure all. Return to me in a few days. I will consult the cards again. but only this one. And she points towards the mist card. Very mysterious omen. The cards can't tell me much while the mists obscure the scrying threads of fate. She gives you a large smile, picks each of the cards off the table, slaps them in her hand, and places them again on top of the deck. Well, that's it, lovies. You've had your fates told by old Madam Ava. Quite the privilege, if I do say so myself. Now then. I can see in your eyes. You're new to this land, ain't you? Ain't you? Yeah, you travelled with Stanimir through the
Just
mists.
arrived.
Excellent. Now, I'm going to tell you something that Stanimir probably failed to mention. You see, me and my people, the Vistani, as I mentioned before, we are committed to ending the horrid curse that has befallen our beloved prince. And we do love him so. And this is indeed our homeland. But when, if you remember, Stanimir probably told you a tall tale of a noble knight who was deep in enemy lands, yes? And our people nursed him back to health. Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah, yes.
Do you remember the part he must have mentioned about how only my people had permission to leave and enter his domain?
Yes.
Get on with it.
Speak in hushed whispers, children. The curse that befell our prince means that none except my people can leave this place. Unless you cure our beloved lord of what ails him. I'm afraid you can't go home from now until the end of time. Until you cure our prince. Barovia is your home. And your soul's home. For all eternity. Sorry about the deception, you see. It's necessary. Travelers rarely agree to it. If we mention that straight on.
Well, I can see why. I've got some mad nobles.
What's the matter? Y'all look like you've seen a ghost. What is our homeland not fit for you?
I'm sure it is, but a bit scary, isn't it?
Oh, there's no use pretending. It's a horrible place to live. I agree. Regardless, you're stuck here. Sorry to tell you. I have advice of a course of action that you can take or leave. The main settlement of this Archaea kingdom is the village of Barovia, named after the land, you see. You must have passed through it on your way, yes, along the path?
Yes.
Yes, it
Very
is very
dour, awful, dark place. Residents don't particularly like outsiders. They do, however, have an inn of sorts in the middle of town. Perhaps you go there, ask the villagers if there's anything you can do to maybe win their favour, and if you do, you have somewhere to sleep, a roof above your head, food in your bellies.
Madam,
Yes, child.
when we entered this area, I smelled the smell of the stench of fresh dead.
Yes? Well, I'm afraid I can't quite help with that, although I won't lie and say that people don't die here. It could have been some dire misfortune that befell some poor worldly traveller on the path, perhaps.
At the very same moment as we entered, I doubt it, but as
I'm
long as
afraid
you
I
don't
can.
lie to us, we're all good.
I am as good as my word, you see. Would this old face tell a lie? And there's like she has this crone like almost androgynous face with this long protruding nose and these deep wrinkles that are like caverns in her flesh. Would this old face tell a lie? I didn't think so. No. I only wish the best for you. The best for you is the best for our prince, since you're, as far as I can see, the best chance he has of being cured of what ails him.
If you say so.
What about the rest of you? Do you have anything else to say about this revelation? Are you just gonna
Can't
stand
we
there and stare at me?
cure him immediately?
What's that?
Where is this prince? We don't know where he is.
You may have seen him as you came in. Perhaps not. The fog is particularly thick on this night. He resides in a great keep of his own making. Castle Ravenloft, he calls it. Large castle, damn near impenetrable. I myself have only been once to see our prince.
So how are we expected to get there?
You
They
could
have
ask.
horses.
Yeah, you could take the draft horses. You could, actually, come to think of it, we need our horses. But there are other potential ways. Our prince has a habit of getting in contact with people, especially new people who arrive in his lands. You see. He might send a letter, if you will. Yes.
So you expect us just to sit here and wait for a letter?
No, actually, I advise that you head back to Barovia, win the favor of those dour people somehow, so that you have a place to stay in our land. Can be in comfort while you wait for correspondence from our dear prince.
It does seem like a good idea.
I'm upset now. I want to go outside and stop the bonfire by using my dragon breath.
Okay, you step outside. What? And you stop the bonfire like in the camp itself?
Yeah, the one that everybody's dancing around.
Yep. The dancing has sort of subsided now, but there are still people eating and drinking, telling stories, playing music around the bonfire. Do you immediately just like coil back your head and let loose like a colossal like gout of ice that sort of extinguishes the fire?
I guess that's one way to end a party.
Yeah. As you do this, the bonfire just like sort of freezes, fizzles, and goes out, and the travelers sort of turn and look at you with narrowed eyes. They stop playing their instruments. They stop singing. They stop talking. And some of them rise to their feet menacingly, but they all notice that you've come from Madame Ava's tent. And once they realize this, you see the realization in their eyes of the direction you came, and they immediately sort of take seats back and just sort of sit there in silence. Like some begin talking hush whispers again, but they really don't seem to want to confront you now.
Just a question here. Have you fucking Kaylee? Have you been listening, or have you just been standing like over at the tent there?
I have not been listening.
Okay.
I've been watching the bonfire people and waiting for you guys to find out what the fuck's going on here, because
Yeah,
you guys are
see,
idiots.
You see Vivi burst out of the tent, like unleash a gout of icy breath over this fire, extinguish it, and like no one challenges her about it.
But do we even know that
I
Kelly
slap
is
my
here?
palm to my face.
No, I suppose you don't. You don't know that
Okay.
Kaylee's here yet. She's been stealthily following the caravan.
Exactly.
Nobody knows I'm here.
Aw.
She's gonna follow us for the rest of the campaign.
Just like in stealth.
Yeah, just never do anything.
Nobody's gonna
I've
question
been
that.
watching. I've been waiting.
Kaylee's the last buzz.
Yeah.
Shit.
I, as angrily,
Full time, guys.
as angry as a little gnome can be, just push open the tent doors, whatever they're called, flaps, and walk out. Gonna walk
Push open my flaps, Daddy.
Oh my
walk
God.
out
Push the flaps and then what?
and just walk out and kicks a little rock down towards the horses. Because I'm angry. She called me little.
Oh,
Alright,
that's
the
what
rest
you
of you exit the tent one by one.
I guess he has like Chihuahua syndrome.
Maybe, yeah.
I sneak over to the next hut, so I'm almost right by them. So
Right,
if they
okay,
say something now, I'll hear them.
As you see this, you see one of the travelers, a sort of stocky man with a long braided goatee. He similar to the one that Stanimir wore. He approaches you when you've just come out of Madadeva's tent. I've overheard the conversation. I'm more than happy to escort you back to Barovia village, free of charge, of course, on behalf of Madame Eva's advice.
Let's follow him. I need time to think
Yeah.
about this. Where did Nami go?
Yeah, where
I'm,
did
hav-
Hanami go?
I'm having connection issues apparently.
Ah well.
Okay.
I'll just refresh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we might as well accept his offer. Not much we can do, really. We are bound in this, like, curse now.
That was loud.
What?
I just
Right, there we go. Hanami's back.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
loading in.
Yes, I'm willing to take you back to Barovia village. I happen to know the barkeep at the Blood of the Vine, which is the tavern in town. I can put a good word in for you. Maybe get you acquainted with some of the locals. Although you're not gonna make a whole lot of friends probably in that place, but better than nothing.
As long as we can find a place to stay for the night, it's fine.
I understand. Yes, not everyone can live our lifestyle, that sleeping under the stars, traveling from town to town, land to land. It's hard. It's hard at times. It is. But so way of life. Anyway, I'm blabbering. Feel free to get on, and I can be on our way.
Let's go then.
Alright, let's hop on.
All right. You all get on the caravan, except Kaylee. Kaylee, you see everyone heading out, getting on this other caravan that is pointed and headed towards the other direction back from where you came. What do you do?
I keep following them.
Right. Okay.
I also have bread in my hair. That was why I laughed. I'm sorry.
Not like in character, just like
No.
a baguette behind your ear, just
Wick,
like. Oh.
the Wick had a lot of bread in my hair, right here.
Okay.
So-
Did anyone see how the bread got in there?
I didn't even eat bread. I don't know.
It's just been there for
So it's
fucking
been
weeks.
there a while then.
It's probably
Been there a
been there all
while.
day.
You're like, oh, I left this for a snack.
Hey, Wick, why did you let a Frenchman come in your hair?
Oh, ha ha ha.
Ho ho, oui.
No.
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
we.
Ho ho, oui.
wait, wait, wait.
Sacre bleu. I'm doing a big cummies. Anyway.
Oh, my baguette explode with delight.
Wow. Okay, so
Oh.
I follow.
Oh oui, here come the creme fraiche,
Crème de la crème. Oui, oui.
the creme de la creme.
Fuck's sake.
Oh, okay, enough now. I'm
I've
starting
been
to turn
drinking
German
water
as
for
well.
an hour. This is too much for me.
Right. Anyway, you guys trundle along the path, heading all back where they came. I won't bother with the whole overland map, blah 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 travel thing. You pass the gallows. It's empty. It stays empty. Obviously, Kaylee, you're a bit creeped out by that particular thing, but this time it stays empty. It stays empty like it should. You all eventually draw back, go over the river, and head back into the village of Barovia. Let's head straight there. Get rid of the gypsy music. Oh yeah.
Shit, I thought this was Eminem.
It could be, for all I know. Like, yeah, sure.
Kinda sounds like it.
Sick rap beat. Boy.
They call me the white boy with the. Right, I'm entering you guys into
I'm entering
the
you
map
guys.
itself,
Enter me.
so you can move around.
If you had one dice, 1d20.
Fire, beach.
What's there?
Mom's rolls
Never mind.
funny.
Do you see that too?
Yes.
Sorry about it. Okay, you reach the sort of western outskirts of the village. Again, most of the windows are blocked. They appear barred. There is not much life emanating from the village whatsoever. The caravan stops and you all disembark. Yeah, it's not particularly lively, but that's how it usually is. Heading to the middle of town, you will see a large sign over the large building in the middle of the town. It says Blood of the Vine Tavern. That's, if you're gonna see any Barovians in the village, that's where they're gonna be. I'll leave you to it, but if you need any sort of help, feel free to come by the encampment again. I'm sure Madam Mabel will arrange something for you.
Excuse me, didn't you say you wanted to put a good word in first? Or...
Oh, of course. Yeah, I completely forgot. Tell you what, I don't particularly like going into Barovia, but for the favour of Madam Mabel, I'll make an exception, I guess. He also disembarks reluctantly. He's like sort of cringing his way there, but he disembarks. He sort of pats his horses, and he leads the way into the town.
I'll DM you, Karma, just a second.
Oh, sorry guys, give me a second. Okay. Yeah, probably. Like, you can
Right, okay.
catch up with the rest of the group, yeah. You can catch up with... Do you catch up with the rest of the group as they sort of amble their way into town?
As we enter the city.
Yeah, as you sort of enter the village, yeah, you can, like, run up behind them and sort of tap them
Right,
on the
so
shoulder or
as
something
we
like
enter
that.
the city, I grab the back of whoever the fuck is yellow. Dawn,
That's
Dawn.
me.
grab your neck. What the fuck did I tell you guys? This is so fucking creepy. What happened over there? I've been following you this whole time. What is this?
Do you have any ale, Kelly?
You can have my ale. Just tell me what the fuck happened. These are bloodsuckers. I told you. They're creepy as shit. And you all go, ooh, you want to save their prince? Are you all insane?
Kale,
We have some bad news. We
What?
can't leave. We're stuck here.
Are you fucking kidding me?
there's
We
some
can't
sort of-
leave?
There's, as soon as we entered through those gates, some sort of curse were kind of put over us.
Yeah.
So you lot decide that we're gonna follow these idiots, and I follow you to be like a friend and help you, and now we're all fucking stuck.
Well, you did decide to follow us. Gotta stay with
It's your own choice,
old man.
really.
So now what? What's this whole prince shit? What's this about?
Okay,
What about the Baron?
I will get to him after we get to the prince. Now we have to get to the inn. Try and get a free room, some free ale. Free ale, yeah, Borg, you like ale. Free ale.
I do love ale, but you guys entered the tent and you came out and you're all pissed, and she's all fucking dragon breath on their fucking fire. What's going on?
Oh, you know, it's just bad luck. She called me short.
You are short. I do love you, but you are very short.
Don't tell him that. He'll get very upset.
Right, okay, so we're stuck here and we have to cure a prince of bloodsuckers.
We have to lift some sort of curse, yes.
I
I'm
love
not gonna
it.
say...
I love it. It's great.
mean,
This is
what's-
absolutely what I wanted to do with my fucking Sunday night. Yeah, great.
Well,
Right, okay, let's find the inn. I want some ale. Fucking bro here wants some ale. I just...
Bro.
Kaylee,
Okay.
how about we lockpick the finest suit in the city and we steal ale?
I do like the idea of stealing from these idiots, but I think we should just, let's try again tomorrow, okay? This has been a long day. You guys were on the fucking carriages. I was running behind you. I might be half an elf, but I'm also half a human, and I'm lazy, so I'm tired.
Yeah, this day has been full of surprises so far.
oh, you say?
So you steadily, as a group now, follow the very sort of large set, bearded Vistani through the winding streets of Barovia. You see that as you sort of go through, the village isn't quite as lifeless as you may have once assumed. There are a few windows with like faint light coming through. You do hear noises, you hear cats, you hear dogs barking in the distance. The sobbing that haunted your ears when you first flew through, it's subsided now, there's no sobbing. There is still obviously a very oppressive, sort of haunting atmosphere around the town. The fog that is extremely thick around the forests parts and subsides when you enter the village boundaries. You travel for a short time. Oh yeah, you have a cat.
Yes.
Is it with you now?
Yes.
Right, okay. Is it like in your pack or something, like in your bag?
Yeah, he's in my bag, yes.
Crazy
Okay.
cat lady heroine.
Yeah, you see various like mottled ginger cats and black cats sort of darting around the streets, like going from one house to the other, like bouncing on top of fences, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Barovians at least like cats, you know? But you can't
Are
see
we
any sort of
moving?
faces. You can't see, you're moving straight through to the middle town. So there are two large buildings sort of on each side of like a makeshift town square. To the right, you see a large sort of rundown building, and to be fair, they're all sort of run down. A sparse light comes out of the heavy drawn curtains blocking the windows. There is a sign above the door creaking on its hinges, and it reads Bill Drafts Mercantile. And underneath it has a symbol of two scales with coin on each side.
Naman, you should do the talking. I'm too pissed. I'm just gonna get us thrown out.
To your left, there is a bigger building. It appears to be in slightly better condition, although, like essentially all the buildings in Barovia, it's a little bit worn down. There is a single great shaft of light that comes from an above sort of attic window that thrusts illumination onto the main square. It has a large arched gaping doorway, and a sign hangs above it proclaiming this to be the Blood on the Vine Tavern. The Vistani beckons sort of towards there. There you go. Find this drink. You're gonna find in Barovia. Only
Perfect,
drink
great.
you're gonna find in Barovia, but we're not a picky people.
Awesome.
And he heads in, sort of opens the creaky wooden door, and sort of after you, just as he's going.
Just trembling. Just...
I follow, but I'm gonna keep my
Uh,
mouth shut.
I look for somewhere to sit, and yeah.
I follow in silence.
I
Everyone can see that.
skulk behind Naman.
Excellent. So before you lays this rather large but fairly empty tavern scene, there is a barkeep idly cleaning the front of the bar. You see a few familiar Vistani people. You can tell by their colourful robes and the sort of tan skin that they're Vistani, and they are sort of hanging around the edges of the bar, drinking a few pints amongst themselves. You also spy a singular man with a hood over his head on the other corner of the tavern, quietly sipping from a large flagon. Now, the Vistani aren't particularly strange in appearance. However, the barkeep and less obviously the stranger with the hood sipping the mead, they look a bit strange. Most strikingly, they look like that. Their hair is a dark, muted grey, and their skin is a pale, lifeless blue tone. Other than that, they look human enough. The Vistani ahead of you heads towards the bar, and with a sort of raucous yell, Arik, my old chum, Arik, haha. He bangs the table a few times, bangs the bar. Arik sort of looks up as if awaking from from a slumber, and just looks towards the Vistani with sort of a weary look in his eyes. Yes, these 6 people here, they're here to do good deeds in the village of Barovia. Yeah, and they're gonna cure the prince, I've heard. So you show them hospitality, and you show them a good time, Eric. Yes, and you tell them what needs to be done in the village so that they may mingle better with the locals. Yeah, you do this for me. I've been sent by Madame Eva, by the way. Arik sort of plainly looks at the Vistani, sweeping bar with a red cloth as he speaks. When he mentions Madame Eva, his eyes widen just a touch, and gives a nod. I'll treat him well. I'll treat him well. You have my word. Excellent. He turns around to you guys. There you go. Ask for some beer. I'm sure he has a few rooms. Hopefully not too flea bitten for the beds. And if you need anything else, head to Madame Eva's camp. I need to get back now. The madam will be expecting back soon.
All right.
And he heads out of the bar and sort of shuts the wooden door behind him. Now it is like dead silent as a sort of the one boisterous personality in the area. Sort of
as there's these people? Right, that's cool.
What's that? Yeah.
They look super undead.
The barkeep looks towards you. He has this slanted head. It's not like his neck's been broken and it never quite healed. He looks towards you. So then, are you wanting a drink?
I'm sure my female half elf here would like a drink, and the big sexy woman
Make it fucking strong.
they would like a drink. Yes, everyone here I think would like a drink.
I'll pass.
Borg is good. Borg has own mead.
A few of us then.
Okay, short one spoken for. Pointy is spoken for.
Sorry, what?
Okay. How about the lizard and the shining man?
I don't trust these people. I don't want to drink.
Keep it down, will you? Don't let them.
I don't want
the
anything
faintest
either.
bit of a smirk across his face.
What actually happened here? With all these people?
What do you mean?
Well, they're blue.
I have no
Your
time for
hair.
questions. No time for
Say
questions.
that. That's racist.
If you're asking things in this village, talk to Ismark, my little friend over there. He points towards the stranger with his hood up, calmly sipping a flagon. He'll tell you everything, he's a right gossip. You'll get nothing out of Eric. We'll get nothing out of old Eric except mead and wine. That's it then.
Please. Wine.
2 drinks. Wine and ale. Coming up.
I'm
On the house. Keith, the madam sent you, you see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
good sir.
thanks, thank you.
Goes back towards the cabinets, pulls a full bottle of wine and a full bottle of mead, and slams them on the bar. Yeah, help yourselves.
That's pretty generous of you. Good sir. Thank you.
Thank you indeed.
Anything
Yes.
for friends of the madam.
Now there were
goes
talk about
Back.
of beds.
Right, we will need some rooms.
I will have
Maybe some
rooms.
bedrooms
Yeah,
too.
rooms. Why not? Rooms. Yeah, it's an inn. Everyone's got rooms, right? We don't get many travellers through these parts, so you can occupy 'em. We've got four. Some of you might have to share.
I'm sure we can figure something out.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Now and
Right.
on. And then the girls will figure the rest out, I suppose.
As long as I can drink, I don't mind. Just don't touch me while I sleep. Anyone.
Game.
I'd prefer sleeping alone, but if I have to, then it's fine.
How many rooms did we get?
4.
Or
When we are 6 people, right? So you take 1. Vivi and Dusk take 1.
do you expect
Wait,
me to sleep with
fuck
this?
What? I'll sleep
scale?
alone?
I can't count.
I'm not gonna sleep in the same room as a.
So
Fucking
Vivi
fine.
doesn't want to sleep alone. Dusk doesn't want to sleep with anyone. So Dawn and Dusk want their own room.
Do I have to sleep with the bartender?
No, he gave us the drinks for
Yeah.
free.
You have to pay him like that.
I don't mind. I'll protect the. What are you?
Can I use my charisma and sleep with a bartender and then rob him in the morning?
Yeah.
I'll take the orc. I'll take the orc. It's
Super
fine. Me and the orc.
unkept,
can
though.
take
You
one
want to
room.
do this? Convince me first. Like, how do you approach him? How you want to flirt with him? Mindlessly buffing the bar.
I'm not this good in roleplay.
Just try it. Try it. If you're not, it doesn't matter if you're good or not.
Right.
Oh, I can't roleplay having courage.
Go for it. Go for
Go for
it.
it. Go for it. Just say something. I
Say
grab
something.
the rest and we
No
go
judgment.
sit down, and you're alone at the
And
bar.
you're alone with that.
Oops, I
Avra who is-
puked in your face. You have to clean it up.
You puke in his face.
Just spaghetti fall out of your fanny pack as well.
Keep rubbing a hole in the pocket.
Or let's share a room. I have liquor. I'll
Oh,
leave you alone.
you're lucky that the madam knows you. And he gets a separate red cloth from underneath the bar and begins wiping his face. And he has a bucket nearby that he's squeezing the red cloth off and just wiping the tick of his face.
I just look
It
up
doesn't
at
come in
the
a-
counter and I just go like, "Oh, I'm happy that I missed that bullet."
Anything
Come on,
else?
Vivi. What do you say while he wipes his face?
I need some clean clothes. Do you have some?
Yes, beach.
Perhaps. But, none for the shape of lady such as yourself.
Who?
For the shape of lady such as yourself, you know. Tall, broad-shouldered, scales. We don't get many of you around these parts.
I'm sure your wife's old clothes work.
Well, you're friends with the madam, so I'll see what I can do. And he turns around slowly and waddles towards a door at the back of the bar where he opens it and slams it shut. And you hear like footsteps going upstairs, wooden stairs. Do you stick around?
Yeah, I follow.
No, you can't follow because it's like a closed bar. But like he's gone to like his living quarters, presumably. You wait about a minute, and you hear the footsteps coming down again. He opens it up, and in his arms is like a rather large, like long, flowing, white and black sort of I think peasant girl, medieval Victorian with frills at the end, sort of garment. I mean, this is the best I could find. I think she was gonna get rid of this anyway.
Cool, I'll take that.
He hands it to you and gives a nod. Will that be all? Are you looking for a drink?
I'll have a sex on the beach cocktail.
We got ale and we got wine.
I'll have wine.
Wine, yeah, good taste. Heads towards the large sort of rack of wines, pulls out a full bottle, slams it on the bar. Will that be all then?
Are we gonna go to bed?
Silence is golden.
I'm just still sitting here with my cat out of my bag finally. And
Hey,
just,
orc.
You also, how describe relics?
He's it's not relics this time around. It's
Oh, right, okay.
it's called Salem.
Salem.
a-
Right.
Yeah, a little black street cat that I nursed to health. So he's like, he has these like scars on him, and it's like, yeah, just very
I like
little
Salem.
frail. Yeah.
Don't you comment on this cat that's just appeared from the back?
Yes, very nice cat that you have.
Thank you.
Isn't it a bit weird having it in your backpack?
I mean, where
Is
else
it
should I
supposed
keep
to run
it?
after us?
Doesn't it shit everywhere? Where does the poo go?
Into the backpack.
Yes.
Oh, that's a
I
bit
took it
disgusting.
together with the food you're gonna eat later.
Oh, that's bloody disgusting.
Yeah.
See, if it was my backpack, it's all my scrolls and my ink. Ugh, disgusting.
He makes a good point. Have you fashioned some sort of cat diaper?
No, I have not. But I didn't know where else Salem could be. I couldn't have him around my neck when we went to dine at the keep. Could I now?
And the bloodsuckers would have eaten it if you pulled it out. I get it.
I don't get why you call them bloodsuckers. They're
I don't think they're
surely,
vampires.
surely like, yeah, they're surely just gypsies of some sort.
That's a slur, my
They're
good
just
lady.
friendly people who might have lured us into the
Yeah, very
land
friendly.
and
We can't
might have forgotten to tell us that we can't
Yeah.
leave, but
Um,
we did agree to begin
yeah.
with to cure the curse, so we're here. We might as well.
yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna drink my whole bottle of wine.
Just fucking knock out.
Then I'm gonna go to bed. I don't care who sleeps in my room. Just leave me alone. I'll leave you alone, and we can get up and do things tomorrow, right?
I've already gone to my room, by the way. I'm upstairs.
A gun?
I'm upstairs.
Already
Oh.
yeah.
What's everyone else doing?
We're just gonna go upstairs into one of the rooms and
We have to figure out who's sleeping where. We only have 4 rooms.
We
Dawn
have to-
has taken 1 room.
well, you can count me as half a person.
You can sleep at the bottom of my bed. at the foot of my bed.
Okay, I'll do that.
Do you trust the gnome?
I will spear the gnome as a kebab if he touches me.
No touchy feet. Damn it.
I think that's gonna be a bigger problem with the drone.
Right, I'm going up. I'm taking a room. I can take 2 people. I'll take the gnome at the bottom, and then 1 more person, and then the rest of you divide.
Me go with
And I'm
Kaylee.
bringing my wine. Right, okay, I'll have the orc, and I'll have the gnome, and we'll have wine, and we'll sleep.
Yes.
I take a room next to Dawn's.
And then Vivi takes.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I was planning on doing a little bit more things. But
I'm
that
almost
seems-
30. I'm sorry, Karma.
That seems about as good as any to end the session. 10 to end.
Yeah, I'm actually struggling to stay a little focused
I know.
as well.
I can tell. I can tell. Don't worry about it. There's some encounters and cool shit in your immediate future. I know
I'm
we're pretty much
excited.
the
I
whole
really like
Yeah.
session without rolling a dice or combat, but every so often, sometimes you don't need that. Sometimes
good
all it needs is a
session.
little bit of atmosphere.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It-
It was
it has-
really nice.
The
It has-
atmosphere.
Yeah.
Atmosphere's been so great.
Right.
Um,
Okay, guys.
You did
I
great,
enjoyed-
Michael. You did great. It was really good.
Okay,
I
like,
love
I
the
always
whole
say-
scarf on the head.
I always say, can you DM me with feedback?
Yeah.
About how you liked the session. Anything you didn't like, anything you really liked, anything you thought did well or bad, and just so I know what to do for next session.
Yeah, sure.
I know we didn't really do much dice rolling this session. It was much more of a sort of setting the scene, getting the atmosphere right, getting everyone into the whole adventure. There is like a full sort of dungeon encounter style thing that I've got planned. You guys are going to be heading into that real soon. Okay? So don't worry about that. That'll
Hell
be
yeah.
pretty much at the start of the second session. Yeah, guys, I had a lot of fun. Did everyone else have a lot of fun?
Yeah.
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 So much fun.
Yes.
Cool.
A
Okay,
small
guys.
detail, perhaps, Karma, but
Yep.
I really liked how you basically just forced Ilric to follow story-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, same.
I've been doing
I
this
liked
for a while.
it.
All right. Anyway, guys, gonna head off. Roll20, head off the call because Danny's
Yeah.
wanting to have dinner now. So I'm gonna go see her for a bit, and I'll
Yeah.
still be around if people want to play.